guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra and today I'm bringing to you a full face of either new makeup or recent beauty finds that I want to use some more. Video was inspired by Allie Glines. She did a video like this recently and she has done them before, and just like I said, some new products that I want to try out on camera, as well as some recent beauty finds that I've been using a lot more and just want to include in today's video. So before we get into that, if you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave if you like what you see today. It's free, it's easy, and it helps you find my videos more easily Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday when I upload. And allegedly, if you ring that notification bell to all, YouTube will let you know when that happens. I was going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation today, but I'm really not feeling a full coverage foundation look whatsoever. So I pulled out the First Aid Ultra Repair Tinted Moisturizer. This is not a recent find, but it is something that I've been using a lot more recently. I just like to apply this with my hands, obviously. Sometimes I have used a brush with this and it works fine with that, but I just feel like it works just as well with my hands and it's faster this way. But we do have a new concealer. I wanted to try this concealer for so long, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer. And it does have a sponge. I'm just gonna crank some product up in here, allegedly. And here we go. And I'm just really excited to try this. I'm gonna apply this with my finger just because I feel like, I know this is a little bit lighter coverage. I think it's probably better applied with the finger, at least to start, to use the heat from my finger to apply it. And then we'll go from there. It is a little light, but you know, whatever color I've gotten on my skin this summer will soon be going away. We're already getting into a little bit of fall weather here in Colorado, and so this will be a perfect shade for me over the fall and winter months, and even spring, before I get any type of color to my skin. And as always, I like to pat over with the beauty blender, so you can see it has a decent amount of coverage. I would say this is probably light coverage, but I think, you know, based on the formula and whatnot, you probably could build it up to at least a medium coverage. I know a lot of people say that there's not a lot of product in here, and I get that, but I don't typically use up concealers very frequently, so I just want to try it. And if it's the most amazing concealer ever, I will repurchase it, because concealer and my under eyes are one of those areas that I just feel better if I have a really nice concealer. Alright, and then I'm just going to set my face with the old trusty number 7 Perfect Light Pressed Powder, mostly in the T-zone area. For bronzer, this is a recent find that I've been using the snot out of, and I'm excited to use it on camera today. It is from Nabla. It is their Skin Bronzing Sunkissed Effect Bronzing Powder. Super long name. And I have mine in the shade Soft Revenge. It's one of those that kind of looks a little bit cool tone in the pan, but once you get it on the skin, it definitely warms things up beautifully. And I like tones like this. I would say it's probably a little bit more toward the neutral side versus cool tone, even though it looks kind of cool tone in the pan. And this one is very hard to go overboard with, and it's just really pretty. It reminds me a little bit of the Clinique Powder Pop bronzer and highlight that I also really love. In fact, we're gonna use the highlight today. Oh my gosh, my hair is a hot mess, even more than normal. So I do really enjoy this product a lot. a lot. So my son got his driver's permit today, which was exciting, a big deal. I don't know how it is in other states, but here in Colorado, he had to pass the written driver's test, like for the driver's license, before getting a permit and all that. So that was really nice to get that done with COVID and everything. And then once the DMV opened back up again, you had to make appointments so that there's not too many people in there at any given time. But I'm really proud of him. He passed the test with flying colors, and you know, won't be long and he'll be driving his old mama around. It's craziness, I tell ya. All right, so that's what that looks like. It does have a nice luminosity to it, but it's not, you know, shimmery or anything like that. I feel like I want to put my highlight on first today, and like I said, we're gonna go in with the Clinique Powder Pop Flower Highlighter, and this is in the shade Lunar Pop. It's the only shade they have in this thus far, and this is definitely a favorite for me. It was definitely I said definitely a lot. Sorry about that. It was an option that I had considered for my Shop My Stash for our move, but I'm really loving on the Nabla one that I purchased at the same time as the bronzer and the blush. I feel like that one, because it's a little sheer and it has like a kind of a glass skin finish, it goes with more looks than this one might. So this one's definitely pretty. It's a good color and it goes with a lot of looks, but I don't know. I'm just in love with the Nabla one right now. What can I say? For blush, I'm going to use this Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade Do We Know Her? And this is a cream and a powder. Oddly enough, it recommends that you apply the powder first, so that's what we're gonna do. And oddly enough, it does work, so it's pretty cool. And I love this little peachy shade down here. So first put on the powder blush. It's so counterintuitive to me because, I mean, I don't always go by the rule, but so many people, you know, are of the mind that you do creams first and then powders. You don't set your face first if you're going to use creams, and so on and so forth. But this actually does work with the powder first, so I'm pretty happy with this so far. I have only used this maybe twice. Let's see, I'm gonna put a little on the chin. I don't know what that's about lately, but it is. And then a little bit up along the hairline here where the sun would naturally hit. I'm gonna take this little Sephora Pro Mini airbrush right here and pick up the cream. This is a very dense brush, so I'm gonna kind of like stipple it on and then use my beauty blender if I need to. And this I kind of like to keep more targeted on the apples of my cheek. And I think that looks really cute. And I love a blushy look, so I don't mind that she's strong. So that's that. Very pigmented, very easy to use, and all of that jazz. For eyeshadow, I have two palettes I want to use today. The first one I've had for a little while, but not gotten as much use out of it as I would have hoped. That is the Ccolor Cosmetics Savannah palette. This is meant to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona Safari palette. I had to think a little too hard about that. And then the other one is one I've only used once on my eyeballs, and that is the Blush Crush palette from ColourPop. I really want to keep the eye look kind of neutrally today, which is why I'm incorporating the Savannah palette, but I do think I will first start off the look with this peachy shade right here called The One. And you know, this is a palette that I've wanted for some time, but it's one of those that I was like, you know, I really had to talk to myself about it and how much I actually thought I would use it and all of that. and I just wanted it, and I had the points for it, so I got it for free from Ulta, and I'm not disappointed. I do really like these tones. I love pink, but I think the pinks that look best on me tend to be warmer pinks like what are in this palette. I think next I'm gonna go into this shade down here, this sort of dusty rose shade, which is called Cheek to Cheek. And I'm gonna first put this on the outer part of my lid. And once I feel like I have most of the pigment off, I will work this up into the crease. I just really like the tones in this palette, so I was excited to use it today, and I think it's made the cut for moving, my Shop My Stash for moving, which I don't know, I think you've seen that by now. If you have, I'll link it in case you missed it. But I'm also seriously at this point just considering bringing just my two Natasha Denona palettes, the bronze and the new glam palette, so we'll see. Okay, I'm also going to take that Cheek to Cheek shade, the pink that we used on the lower lash line real quick. I don't love pink on a lower lash line, and I know a lot of people are with me on that, but one trick if you do want to tie in pink on the lower lash line is to do kind of a diffused wash of it first, and then come in with a shade or a color that you do like on the lower lash line. Like I'm going to come in with a brown, and I'm going to use a more detailed brush to do the brown, so the pink will be there, it'll be barely peeking out from underneath the brown though, so I won't end up with that like sticky look that a lot of us are trying to avoid. Going into the Savannah palette, I'm going to take this nice warm brown right here and pick it up on this little Sonia Kashuk pencil brush, and this is going to be the outer V. I'm going to kind of put this along the upper lash line and then bring it up ever so slightly into the crease. It's kind of literally making a V on the outer part of the lid here. And then to just have a little fun, I'm going to use the Super Shock shadow that's in here, and it's kind of like an opal-y shade, which is part of why I wanted this palette to begin with. And it's called Pop a Bottle. Looks like this, and I'm just going to put this over my lid with my finger. Allegedly. I may have to go into a sponge tip applicator, but maybe not. I find it really interesting that the Super Shock shadows and the palettes that I've tried are so hard to pick up on your finger. Whereas when you buy like an individual Super Shock shadow, it doesn't seem to be as difficult to use with the finger. So I don't know what that's about. I do have a sponge tip applicator, so I'm gonna pick up a little bit on there. I will say these sponge tip applicators do a beautiful job of applying Super Shock shadows if you ever do have trouble with that. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up that same brown. This is a flat square brush. I'm gonna put this on the upper, like along the upper lash line as well as the lower. Just kind of like a liner, but not really. Just the tiniest bit down there. I'm gonna pop off of here and do some major work here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna pop off of here. I'm gonna do brows and mascara, and then I will come back and we will do a lip. Okay, we are back, and this is the version of I don't feel good and can't be bothered to do anything with my hair today. I finished off the eyes with the Essence Lash Prints False Lash Effect Mascara. So for lips, I had gone and picked up this little Pillow Talk lip kit. It has a mini, where are you? It has a mini of the Pillow Talk lip cheat as well as a mini of the Pillow Talk lipstick for $25. I felt like that was a good deal. So I'm just going to use the lip liner today, and then we have a lip gloss oil situation. And just as I kind of thought when I ordered this, why I've always hesitated in purchasing this lip liner is it is pretty much the exact shade of my lips. So that's kind of a bummer. The Pillow Talk lipstick actually really works for me, but that's because my Holy Grail lip liner in Whirl from MAC is a little, just ever so slightly deeper than my lips. But it works, and it works for today's capacity because I'm using a lip gloss. This is new to me. This is the Ilia Balmy Gloss. It is a tinted lip oil, and I have mine in the shade Tahiti. It's so pretty, and it is such a smooth, slick, not oily feeling or greasy or anything like that, but just thin but comfortable formula. I really, really love it. It's a nice, easy shade to wear. I think it's really pretty, so I'm glad I picked that up. I do really like this concealer. I like the way it looks under my eyes. It looks pretty damn natural, if you ask me, and that's always what I'm going for. So I look forward to continuing to try that. I love this blush from Patrick Ta. I love that I kind of have 3 options because you can use the powder or the cream or both in this one, and these shades are definitely unique to my collection. I really love the Blush Crush palette, which is why I'll probably bring it with me when I move. And I do love this Savannah palette as well. Even though we only used 1 shade today, I have used quite a few of the shades in here overall, and I really like them. So let me know down below what you think of the look or any of the products that I used today. So thank you so much for watching this video today. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out here on the platform. And with all of that said, I hope you're all staying safe and well, and I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I'll see you in my next video real soon.